let's call it Mirror Lake, and it's could be a frozen lake, and then maybe we could show like a sky scene that's reflected from on onto the ice itself to make it look like it's a mirror of some kind. So why don't we go about doing that? So I'll kind of zoom in. I'll go back to biome stamps here. Let's go back into the catalog. Let's use a brighter kind of maybe blue, like maybe this more deep turquoise kind of color might be interesting to use. And I'm make sure that I have my land brush selected. And let's go into our brush options here. And I'm going to make a lake. So a lake doesn't have all these like crazy kind of edges to it. So maybe just a hard brush or a soft brush might work best here. Let's go with a hard brush first. And I'm going to make the shape of the lake. Bring the brush size down a little bit. And I'll make the lake an interesting shape. So let's maybe make this kind of weird shape like this. Goes like that. There we go. And then I'll just kind of fill in the whole thing. And I'm going to use the mouse to fill it in. And oopsie, it's set to the wrong opacity. My mistake. I'll have to do it again. 1 second. There we go. Let's do it again. Oh, there we go. Much better. Okay. Like this shape. Change it up. It can be any shape that you want. Almost has like a continent-like shape to it, doesn't it? And I'm going to use the mouse to fill it in because of the pen pressure. So I'll just try to turn that off. You can change those settings in the edit brush if you want, but I'm just going to, just to do it quicker, I'm just going to fill it in here with this. So just kind of fill it in. I could use a layer mask for this, but then at the same time, that's just a couple more steps that I have to do. The setup was specifically to make it the easiest way with the least amount of steps. So that's why I used clipping masks, a clipping mask fill on a shape instead of using a regular, like a layer mask that you can use over here on this side. It's just a little bit of extra work to put all the layer masks on. And I would have to have a layer mask for each one of these if I wanted to export these as a composite. So I'm going with this route instead. So I'll kind of fill this in here with a nice kind of frozen lake. And I'm starting with the texturing first because it is a lake. So now that I have my lake space there, now I can go ahead and put some cliffs around it, mountains, hills, trees, whatever I want, right? Okay. Oh yeah, deadly icebergs. Oh, I love that idea. Good one. Let's consider that for our next one. Okay. So now that I've kind of put the periphery or where my lake is, I can now place some stamps down. So we'll go into that catalog here. Let's see here into the catalog, Fantasy World. Let's type in terrain again so that this way I don't have to scroll through everything. It's always good to be able to use the right tags to find what you're looking for. So let's kind of go over our options here. It's a frozen lake, so why don't we add a little bit more interesting stuff to it. Let's go ahead and add these ones right here. I think this looks good. I'm going to place one down there, and then let's place these ones right here. And I think I'll place these just along the edges here, like this. Put one there. That looks good. Oop, I already have one. Oop, I don't have that one. Let's go with this one right here. I'm going to have it overlap. This is kind of important to create this sense of depth. So I'm going to have some of these kind of overlapping the lake itself. That's going to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's go ahead and this one right here overlaps quite well, fits in that little space. And then I'll use these just along the shoreline like this. There we go. Just along the shoreline here. That looks good. Let's bring the scale down. Different sizes is good. If it's all the same size, it's not going to look natural. So let's kind of just break up the scale a little bit. Put some on the land is okay. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. Looks good. Okay. Let's go ahead and add in some more imposing terrain. Let's go ahead and add these little spires right here. I think these should look good. So I'm going to create some icy-like spires along this edge right here. Just kind of single click and kind of making my way. Don't forget to put some on this side as well, so it's overlapping the lake itself. Remember, overlap is a great way to show depth. So we'll go and overlap these. This looks good. Okay, let's keep just adding more and more. Let's go ahead and also add in some of these snowy mesas. I'm just going to place a couple of these in here. This way we have a very interesting kind of lake. It's not any kind of lake, right? There we go. That looks good. Our terrain is getting more interesting. That looks good. Hey, thank you, first time chatter, Advanced 129. Yeah, I'm so glad that you're enjoying Inkarnate. It's been so helpful. The 2.0 has been absolutely wonderful, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it too. Okay, let's go ahead and put something, besides it also just being a mirror, why don't we also throw something in the center of the lake to create a focal point and something that looks kind of interesting. So maybe like some crystals or something along the ground might be a good idea. I think I saw some crystals up here. I do like these jagged green crystals. These are kind of interesting, but let's change the color a little bit to find that nice kind of blue color. Ah, there we go. That looks good. Let's bring the brightness up so they're kind of easier to see. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to place a couple of these. Actually, you know what? I want them to be the same color as that ice. So let's go to our blend mode and go to luminosity. There we go. I'll go ahead and place one just to see how it looks. Yep, that looks good. And I'll just go ahead and place a couple of these on the lake. There we go. That looks good. And then why don't we also create some snow? And of course, since it's frozen, you would expect some snow also on the lake. So let's go back into the catalog. Let's choose this snow right here. I'm going to bring the opacity down to about 58. And I'm going to fill this snow not just where the land is, but have it overlap a little bit as well. Actually, let's change the scale a little bit. My mistake. Always remember to change the scale. There we go. Bring the scale down, and I'm going to create this snow, and it's going to be on the edges of the lake, giving a little bit more transition so it doesn't look like it's just this very hard edge. So we'll create a little bit of snow here along this edge, all along here. That looks good. And I'll also put a little bit of snow right where, let's go ahead and put that softness back up to 100%. And then I'll place a little bit of snow in the lake underneath where those little icebergs are. Like this. There we go. That looks good. Okay. And also let's give it a little bit more to make it a little more interesting. Let's add another light source. Let's place one right here above like this, the top layer. Let's place that light source on top. Let's go change the hue. Let's go with maybe like a purplish color, if we can find a purplish color. That'll make it more interesting. And then we'll change the blend modes to kind of play around with it a little bit to make it more interesting. Here's your normal, darken, multiply. We'll see which one kind of works the best. Let's see here. Overlay, soft light, the hard light, the difference. Ooh, that's intriguing. Yeah, it makes it much more interesting. Color, you know, I'm not sure which one I like the most. I kind of like the color burn there. I think that color burn just looks good. Maybe this can represent like the deeper part. It should add some nice purple in there. Let's maybe put it just right there. I think that should look good. There we go. I can even bring it down a layer if I wanted to, so it's kind of beneath. I could do that as well. I think that looks good. And then I mentioned something about making it look like it's reflecting the clouds. So why don't we take these clouds like this? We'll bring the opacity up. I'm going to bring them down a layer, and then we'll just kind of place them on the lake like this. And it will kind of look like it's reflecting these clouds. Because remember, it's called Mirror Lake. So let's do that. That looks good. And it's kind of reflecting those clouds. That looks good. Okay, that looks good to me. There we go. All right, so let's also just do some last stuff. Let's go ahead and add in some like cracked ground and things like this. There's just cracked ice right here. That might work well. Let's change the texture on that a little bit. We can add a little bit of cracked ground right along the edge here, like this. Maybe a little bit of cracked ground along this edge. Along this edge. Looks good. There we go. Okay. And then let's add in one more. Let's add in cracked ground. Let's go with this one from the Fantasy Battle Map style. We'll change the texture. Scale, bring it way, way down. There we go. That looks good. I'll bring the opacity down, and then I'll just go ahead and fill in where this is on the land. Make it look like there's this craggy, kind of cracked ground here, right underneath this. I'm not going to put it in the water, just where these spiky stamps are. That's it. There you go. Place them here. Okay. All right. I think this looks good. The Mirror Lake, where are we at for time here? 35? Sweet. Tons of time. We'll probably be able to get at least one or two more done. Let's go ahead and select all of these. So I've selected every single one. We'll create the group, and then we'll call it Mirror Lake.